Okay. Why is it only 720p?
because we don't have an enterprise version.
Okay. Yeah. Garib software engineers. Okay.
Yes. We are live, by the way.
Okay. Cool. Hmm. Yep. We are live.
So,
Hmm.
what do you say? Let's go to Notion and explain what we are doing, or let's just set up directly.
Hmm. Yeah. So what we will do is we will go to our Notion doc, just update couple of things. Then we will just explain what we are trying to do here, and then we'll start. You are on mute for some reason.
I will have to go on mute because there's some noise in the
Ah,
background.
okay,
Go.
okay. चलेगा चलेगा. Good.
All right. So let's go ahead and share. Second.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. This looks good to me.
Mhm. So let's start on this.
Okay. ठीक है. Now, so we have couple of things here, right, on the screen. So what do I mean by all of this? Let's just discuss that and then we will like start doing what we are doing. Good.
So first of all, as
Hmm.
as you guys know, I'm a developer, and my
I'm
friend
a
here
data
is
engineer.
a data engineer,
Hmm.
hence the name Dev and Data. We are collaborating. Um, Definitely join his channel. He also do live streaming. He has
Not
his
as
own
much, but
podcast.
yes, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes he does, but you will enjoy it.
Yep.
So basically, since we are collaborating, we have things that we want to do, and for that we need more than one people, more than one set of knowledge. So we will start small. We will build some understanding, and then we will decide on the final route what we want to do. So
Hmm.
for now, what we have decided until this point is this. So in this collaboration, we will start with implementing. Okay, these are some of the notes we made, that the quick things we should, the quick
Hmm.
guidelines that we should follow. One, we decided that since it's the time of the AI, anytime we get stuck, we will build small agents to help us unstuck. We won't try to debug things manually, trying to solve things every time we get stuck, because that makes no sense in the time of AI. We will just try to use directly the AI, the Chat GPT, Claude, and any of the Perplexity, any of the existing application. And if it's a custom solution, we will try to just implement a local agent using some API, and that's it. Using
Yep.
local Olama or something, but we will just try to make it so that we get the answer automatically, quickly. If it's a custom solution, then we create an agent with some tools, some functionality so that it helps us. So we will see how it goes, but this is the plan. Also, we have decided without UI, it gets little difficult to explore. So all our POCs will have a UI, although both of us don't really have any expertise in the UI, but we will try to implement a simple one.
Yeah, we'll do a vibe coding on it. We'll just put all of the prompts in AI or any chatbots, and let's hope that LLM spits out anything and everything correctly and with best practices. I mean, this is just a hope, and yeah, but it is going to be a fun ride. So yeah, tag along.
Yes, but since we are developer anyways, used to debugging, if AI makes mistakes, I'm
Yeah.
sure even if you can't
Hmm.
write it from scratch, we can fix it.
Yep. 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 So the idea here is to like build a couple of POCs, try to test really the limits of what we know, what we are capable of, and all of this is possible because we have a quote unquote super intelligent LLMs helping us in figuring out things, generating code for us, making smart decisions with the code because it has all the training data of world's best open source projects on the topics, or like blog posts, all of the data that is already fed in, and we will use our knowledge, our collective knowledge, and maybe some feedback from the viewers as well going forward, and try to build a couple of things here and there to check how best we can like build an small, let's say an app, a UI app, or a static web page, or you know a data engineering pipeline using very nominal tools. So this is the whole idea of this particular discussion. We don't want to make it sound that okay, we are trying to build something and we are using AI. So that's one thing, but what we really want to do is we want to explain the reasoning behind what we are doing, why we are doing, and how we are doing it, and every decision that we take on, let's say, choosing a tool, making a design decision, or trying to create something in a way or some way. So everything should be discussed, debated, and put out to the world, so that everybody who is following this discussion, or even for us, we will know what kind of a approach we are taking here. So which is a solid one, in my opinion, mainly because that a lot of the times what we are doing here is that, at least with the advent of LLMs, we input a prompt, we will get the output, and it works, right? It definitely works in some way. Okay, whether we intend to have that behavior or not, that's a completely different story altogether, but it works, right? And the idea is that uh, the understanding is that if it all works, then what's the fuss? What's the fuss is really all about. Engineering doesn't depend or doesn't rely on what is called as just works, right? Engineering is not about that. Engineering is, at least for the most part, the coding part is automatically taken care of for most of the project from going further into the future. The idea of making a certain aspect of a app work certain way with all the constraints and design choices, the understanding of all of these will be much more important than just say my code works. That doesn't play out in the world anymore, right? Because we have all the knowledge at our disposal for let's say if you are thinking of paying a premium subscription to any of the LLMs, it's $20 a month at max, right? Around that number. So everything is at our literally at our fingertips, and we just have to prompt, and we cannot just say that okay, I just inputted a prompt, I got an output, and I got the result. You cannot say that at all. If you are trying to make a case, or if you try to make a point of building systems at scale, building reliable systems, and being building systems that are very secure. So these practices help us understand what we are doing, why we are doing, and how we are doing it. And explaining the reasoning behind all of this is what we are going to do here, to make sure that we are having a solid understanding on every single aspect of our code, which is where all the decisions finally play out, right? So that's the reasoning behind this. So Kashish, can you like explain what we are trying to do as a starters here? I know we have like put a lot of fancy things under our goal here, but I mean, we don't want to like confuse ourselves for the viewers on this.
So for the viewers, the main thing
Hmm.
to focus here is that we have already made a few decisions, which
Hmm.
we will definitely discuss why we made such decisions in
Yep.
the podcast as well, in either in this one or the next podcast. But
Yep.
what decisions we have already taken is, we have decided that we will be using monorepo tools.
Hmm.
What is monorepo? To explain monorepo, basically think, um, so monorepo tools help you. If I have to explain monorepo, so monorepo is a one where you keep all the components in a single repository. So you create a GitHub repository and all the components are there. But you use some tools to start and manage all the dependencies, basically creating environments and updating environments, keeping environments in sync, and everything is managed in a single GitHub repo, front end, back end, anything else. That's one decision we have made, that we will be using monorepo. The reason is, the one basic reason for this is, since we are a team of two, if we create 10 components, we want to see it all in one place. Since we are
Yep.
a small team, we don't have a capacity to, change repositories from switching repositories from this to this and this and this. Since we are just two people working on this, and maybe we will have a little, few more people, but still it's still gonna be a very small team, and
Yep.
we don't even have segregation on what we will work on. We are not deciding, okay, this area of code only this person will work, this area code only this person will work. Everyone will be working on every component. So to make things easier for us, and uh, also having the benefits of having microservices, we have decided to use monorepo tools.
Yep. So the reason why, let me distill a bit. Let me share my screen and show you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, show you what it means to have a monorepo in practice, right? This is just, again, this is an assumption for us, because we want to collaborate on one single project, having multiple facets of our applications spanning, if you take it as a company, right? Like, an enterprise or a small scale company. Let's say all of your teams are using one single repo to have their code in, or to push their code in, right? So that's how monorepo is basically. And if you see, I just like search Claude on this, can you explain how to set up a monorepo, and code base with multiple languages. This is the prompt I've given it, and it has nicely spit out what would be the what would be a monorepo, like a structure of a monorepo here, and it has explained a couple of things here. I'll not go into detail about it, but to give you a feel of it, like just a feel of it, how would that happen? So let's say we have created a monorepo. We will have all of the services here. We have web apps, we have AI model scripts, maybe housekeeping scripts, Docker images, workflows, CI/CD stuff, our infra, everything put into one single repo. So this is a very solid decision for small teams to have a single repo that could do all of it for every single work they do as a team. Let's say a backend team wants to update a couple of things in the web apps, or a machine learning team who is working on a new model, and they want to update their code and deploy it to production. So all of this happens in one single repo. There is no couple of repos and all of that. Why we do this? Because we are two people, right? And we want to do multiple projects spanning across creating UI apps, backend, data engineering stuff, dashboards, all of this in one single go as different POCs. Maybe later on we will merge all of them into one single project to power to, and that provides a single pane of glass for code, not for the applications, but for code. So let's say we have a super duper intelligent AI down the line, and we can just say that, okay, this is my code repo and I want to make these changes, or there is a bug at this place, can you fix it? So it can look through all of that code for us, make explain us, at least if not make the changes directly, explain us what it is going on, or what's going on here, and then maybe we take a call upon what to do later on. So that provides a lot of efficiency gains in small teams. I'm not sure how it might work in the large teams. Companies like Google, Microsoft, and other big tech companies, they use monorepos. Google is notoriously, all of the Google services are in a monorepo, as except couple of things, like I believe ads, it's a separate repo, but all the Google stuff, all the interface that you see, it's on I'm on a repo. Funny thing, we are opening a Claude and explaining it, but yeah, you get my point. So that's how it is. So that's a design decision, or a choice. So this is how our discussions are going to be going further. So we'll say that, okay, we have decided something, and we will explain the reasoning behind it, so that everybody who is trying to check or see what their current project, or what kind of project they want to do, whether they have anything like this, or whether they can relate parts of our discussion to that particular uh, uh, that particular context. The idea here is not to overwhelm ourselves with using all the fancy tools, but the solid understanding as to why we are doing what we are doing. Okay, over to you, Kashish. So this is our like pre setup of our whatever we are going to work coming in coming days. So yeah, that's about it.
So now the time is for
Hmm.
the initial setup.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Kashish. So why do we want to do a local first approach?
Ah, right. Forgot about that.
No, I'm just teasing you, but yeah, why do we want to do a local first approach here?
See, hmm.
Explain in terms of it's an open-ended question. I don't want it to keep it too open-ended. Explain in terms of our context, like we are two people working on the on this whole thing, this project, right? So where do we want to use this one?
Let's start with one. One,
Hmm.
we have a good system. Our systems are
Hmm.
capable of running all the things on local.
Exactly, yeah.
Second, well, simply, if you go to cloud, you have some limitations, and
Right.
there are two things. One, you are bound by their free tier unless you
Yep.
pay,
Yep.
and
Yep. Yep.
second is you are bound to them that you will be stuck using their services because you chose them. You chose to marry this service, whatever you
Yep.
use.
Yep. Is it a good thing for, let's say, small companies, or small teams to directly start with cloud, or a local first approach is a good one to start. What's your opinion on that?
Hmm. My opinion is we this both of them could be a valid use case depending on
Okay.
what kind of platform or goal you have in mind. But for
Hmm.
POCs, this is POCs, we are
Yep.
not actually building an application. It makes more sense to have a local setup so that
Yep.
everybody can just clone the repo, set it up, run it,
Yep.
see
Hmm.
what's going on, and try to
Yeah.
make changes and experiments.
Yeah.
Because with cloud, now you have more steps involved in trying things, changing things. You have dependency built, and you will have to coordinate, which
Right.
doesn't make a lot of sense since you have not
Yeah.
formalized what you're going to do.
Right. 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 You have like solid points over there for this one. So the local first approach that when we were discussing, it is because of sheer, lack of funds. If any VC would watch this in the future, so we know where we started. But yeah, jokes apart, the idea here is to have an instant feedback loop to not be bothered about any cloud or any external services dependency at the moment, because we don't know what we are doing, and we don't know which one will fit our bill in the future. So just build it locally and try to explore what we are doing, right? It's not about whether we want to use cloud or not. If the bill fits that particular description of us should be using cloud, which we will, and even if we are not using cloud, we are using cloud. I'll explain that later. So yeah, but we will use tools when we need them.
But I will still explain this with one example. Just think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
go ahead, go ahead.
If right away we choose AWS, then
Hmm.
that means we are choosing either what's the service name that runs Docker? I seems to
Ah,
have
ECS, no?
ECS, yes.
Ah,
ECS. We choose Azure, then we are choosing maybe app service. Now we have already involved some of the things even before we have started anything. We don't have a product in mind. We don't have anything. And yet we are talking
yeah.
about, okay, let's learn this as your app service. Let's see ECS. We are doing all the setup, clustering. I mean, man, we don't have a project right now. What we are
Yep.
doing? Are we the
Yeah, yeah.
DevOps or are we engineer? Are we developers and data engineers?
Yep, 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 yep. So we don't know what we are doing. So we don't want to confuse ourselves even before we start, and then get distracted by everything. The idea here is for us to learn a lot of things along the way and not be bothered about any tooling or anything yet. We will bother when we have to bother, but apart from that, yeah. No, not happening, sir. Yeah. So the local first is approach is pretty good if you are starting anything. If you are a developer, or if you are aspiring to be a developer, or even a data engineering one, always have the you know easiest,
Fine.
cheapest, and possibly free tools, as long open source free tools, as long as you are trying to learn and get your like knowledge set before you try anything that you have to spend time on. I mean, there are list of amazing tools that are available for free. Just a click of a button, you are there. Or just couple of hours of spending your time, you are set with those tools. Be it web development, be it data engineering, be it anything in between, right? So we don't have to like bother ourselves with that. Yep. We don't have to bother about any fancy tools yet. So yeah, there is our reasoning. So yeah, the next approach.
The next
Wow.
thing,
Yeah.
so these are the things we have
Hmm.
put. Once we have decided what we
Hmm.
are gonna do, we will try to stick to these practices. One of
Yep.
them is we will comment everything and with
Yep.
example.
Yep.
So we want to keep this code relevant
Yeah.
and a user reads, we want it to make sense to us and to the future us as well as the users.
Yep.
So we'll make sure that we comment everything because not everything we will be doing on live.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. So the idea here is that when you are working on a project on lot of disparate systems, UI, even in UI you have like front end, and you have UX, and then you have like design systems, all of that, maybe in the future, right? So these are very, very, very like disparate systems. You start from generating HTML, you start from, then you go for JavaScript or any backend, and then use database stuff, APIs, to write your data. All of these approaches, all of the changes that are going into a repo, if not commented, we will lose the context as to why we did what we did, right?
yes,
So, and I don't have to like always explain to you as to why I did this. If I'm repeating myself a lot, then we are in trouble basically. So yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, again, all of the fundamentals like architecture diagrams, data flows, like requirements, change logs in our repos, right? Everything will be stored. This one. So all of this is to have a clear-cut paper trail of everything that is going on in the project, right?
yes. And
So,
we
hmm,
still have to figure out how
hmm,
we're gonna achieve this.
hmm,
This is what
right.
we decided on. We still have
Exactly.
to figure
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
how we are gonna achieve this. Are there
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
tools, versioning?
Hmm.
What's there in this mono repo that we're gonna create? We don't have no any idea what and
Yeah,
how.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for any viewers, in the future, you might be thinking that, these guys have all figured it out. Yeah, it's not true. Like, we just written this, and then, it just started, chalo bhai, hum ek live stream karte hai is pe. And then we came here. So there is nothing that we know for sure that how it is going to be. So which is the fun part of what we are doing, why we are doing this. Just to be there and build a couple of things. Yeah.
And yeah, and the last point is
The important one.
PR
Yeah.
and hotfix should have
Yeah.
clear, as we have written, every PR and hotfix should have clear-cut replication of the coding standard. Also should reference the documentation.
Yeah.
So, Money, you can maybe explain this point better.
Yeah. So this is my doing. Basically, Kashish has no like basically hand in it. So I'll explain what I've done. So every time we raise a PR, right, we have some commit messages over there, and those commit messages would be fixing error, or fixing error again. Oh God, I have to fix this. This should run. Some random messages like this, and that kind of breaks context. Commit messages are, if used effectively, they are the best, in terms of poetry that a developer could write, because we have to be very, very, very clear about what we are doing in the commit history, and that will help us save a lot of time and effort. But that's in an ideal world. We don't live in an ideal world. Devs and data people are notorious in not explaining what they are doing. I don't know the reason behind it, but we tend to like overlook the importance of having very clear commit messages or PR requests, so that the other person would w- so that we make the other person's life easier. Most The reason being that when we are working on a lot of these systems, we have a lot of tribal knowledge context to start with. The other person, even if we have to do a little explaining over a call, or just over a couple of Slack messages, so we are good, right? So which is fine, today, but down the line, what happens is that everybody loses context, and we'll have to, like, swift through a lot of, code, which is always not good. So having comments, all of this can save us from some misery, but end of the day, you'll have to swift through a lot of code. And when we set a standard as to why we are doing a PR, or a hot fix, or anything with a clear cut comments as to what we are doing in that particular one. Let's say we are introducing x number of, n number of features in it, and how are they working, so what are all the tests that we did here to cover that. So to ask a human to, like, spend time on that is fine, but LLM can do a better job of it, right? It can understand code, it can read code, it can, like, even if we do miss something, we can just ask it to, pitch in some ideas, right? And that's how we can cover a, lot of ground without, having to, like, do the grunt work of us having to manually read everything, right? So do you think it's a solid strategy? I mean, do we think that is a solid strategy? Yeah, for small teams like us, it is, but it is not the be all and all solution. Ultimately, we require a human to, like, curate and, guardrail the changes that we are putting into our repo. So stuff will happen. We will make some mistakes along the way. We will make poor decision over a couple of things, and we will revert it back. So all of this should happen gracefully, right? And in a well documented manner. Let's say we are building a product, right? And we have a, couple of documents, for all the stuff that we are doing. So do you think that it is always a case that a developer will go and update that? So that might not happen, but let's say, I'll just put that into an LLM, and with the PR with this one. So let the LLM do the heavy lifting for us, let it go to the documentation and update it, right?
So now,
So yeah, good.
basically, we will.
Hmm.
This is also one of the challenges that we will be tackling.
Hmm.
These concerns, these extra concerns, side concerns that we are having.
Yeah,
Can we leverage AI in?
right. Effectively,
I
right.
have for this. I have like idea. What if
Yeah.
we have the commit, and since Git
Hmm.
is a very nice tool, it can generate us these are the changes in text format.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe we can do that, feed it to the LLM and get a response out, and then manually put those things,
Hmm.
because otherwise we will have to pay for some services to do the
Hmm.
exact same thing,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. Yeah.
we are not
Yeah.
gonna do. But
Yeah.
we will do the best we can with the local resources, and
Yeah.
we will
Yeah.
try to minimize things
Hmm.
that we have to do manually. We will
Yeah.
try to leverage AI to the maximum possible limit that we can.
Yep. Yep. So
I'm
the
sure
idea,
much
yeah.
more at the end of this journey, we will be leveraging AI like for doing over 90% of work. The 10% is all we
अरे
gonna
ऐसे
do
डराओ
for
मत
AI.
भाई, डराओ मत, किसी को ऐसा डराना नहीं. The idea here, I mean, I see. The thing is that, let's not kid ourselves that, AI is doing what it is doing, right? The idea here is to not, like, create some kind of environment that, okay, if everything is AI, AI is doing, so what am I doing here? So that's not what we are, focusing on. The our energy is to focus on, if somebody says that AI is the be all end all of it, right? Be all and all being meaning that, it's going to, like, create a massive, shift in the dynamics of how we develop, deploy, and maintain applications, right? If they say that this is the ultimate solution to every single pain point, or every single, like, technical advancement, right? So let's test it out.
Hmm.
let's test it out to its limits. Let's see, where it can be really helpful, where it can be like, not helpful at all. We have to know it, right? if
Hmm.
if if somebody says that, it's a very good car, or if a very good, device, you know as engineers, it hurts my ego to say that, I have to accept it, without any questions, or any tantrums, right? As an engineer, we should never, accept any claims, or any marketing material just for the sake of it. We have to test it. That's where we are, right? That's where we are with the technology. That's where we are with the state of the, things going in the world. So now, so that's the fundamental idea about, building all of this, live streaming it, and, trying to like, talk about it as much as possible. If they say that AI is going to replace our job, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see what's coming for me, right? So it's not going fun, fun fact. It's not going to replace, my job or make me redundant altogether. It might make me redundant in one role, but not altogether. So don't worry about it. I
But
hope no AI is listening, or especially Zoom's AI is not listening to this conversation, but that's conversation for another day. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like, there is only so much we can do at our jobs, our day jobs as data engineer and, developers, right? And there will be a lot of restrictions and, guardrails as to what we can do at our jobs, because we don't want to leak our sensitive information. Fun fact: I work at a cyber security company, and we cannot just, just input all the code to an LLM and expect it to spit out, you know, the solid, code examples or code implementation. That's not going to happen, because it poses a huge security risk. We don't know how LLM's behavior can be manipulated, or how LLMs, generate the outputs under the hood. We do know some details, even the, best of the best scientists in the world, but we don't know what and how we are going to, make this as, uh, into a very determinable system. At this point, LLMs are undetermined. Like, we cannot determine the output. They are not bounded by certain inputs, and, it will give certain outputs. That's not going to happen with LLMs at all, right? So that's the reason, behind us doing this. We want to explore the capabilities of these systems. We want to explore how best we can use it for our discussions, that we are going to do, the building purpose. So everything that we are doing, we are not consciously not trying to use any paid tools at all at this point. Everything that is freely available, testable, verifiable result, that we are trying to put into our repos, into our discussions, into our documents, everything. So this is how it is going to be for, next upcoming sessions. We will discuss about, what is the grand plan. And yeah, so yeah, I'll hand it over to Mr. Kashish here, who will explain us, what would be our next stream is, and how we are, doing till now.
we will directly start with our hands-on. So
Hmm.
for now, today's goal is just the initial setup.
Yep.
So we might not do all the initial setup on live stream, but let's do some of it to get the
Hmm.
idea from where we started, and we will also capture the end result.
Yep.
And so at least let's capture the moments, how the wrap-up progresses. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, do you want to set up the repo now, or how do we start?
So let's start here. I have created.
Hmm. Awesome. Oh, you have created. पता नहीं था भाई. Okay.
Let me fix the view a bit. Okay. No, I
Hmm.
mean, let's continue. We will see it later. Okay. So when I create a new organization, this is the screen.
Yep.
And let's go to repositories.
Mm-hmm.
Here we can see different kind of repositories.
Okay.
Since folks, basically when you have not worked on these things, but you
Mm.
liked someone's work, so you cloned it in your repo.
Right, 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 right. Hmm.
They're public and private. That's how you should um, work on your repos, because otherwise it's bit messy. And definitely, once you
Hmm.
see repositories are not worthwhile seeing for somebody, then just archive it.
Yep.
That's all.
Awesome. Yeah.
Keep your repository clean so that for a potential
Hmm.
requirement, it should be clean enough so that they know what you have worked on actually. Okay.
Right. So this is basically for anyone who doesn't follow this, this is basically uh, GitHub platform. So which is one of the service providers for Git. So what is Git? What is GitHub? If you don't know it, just ask any AI at this point and get idea. So what we are trying to do here is that Kashish was explaining about what all types of repositories we have here, and if you have a GitHub account, you can create a repo here just like we are doing, just like Kashish is presenting right now. So yeah, so we are trying to create a repo, quote unquote a mono repo, and yeah, please go ahead.
So in future, we will be able to make some repository as a template.
हाँ,
Easily,
राइट.
it will be
अरे
good.
वो सॉलिड बनता है भाई. वो टेम्पलेट होना चाहिए जरूर. करेंगे, एक एक तो करेंगे वैसे.
है ना? So,
हम्म.
but for now,
हम्म.
dev and data.
हम्म.
So what should your first POC be named? Let's
अरे
say,
पीओसी नहीं.
how about, I mean, how about this, the original, we keep it original and just say first project.
No man, no, that's too boring.
It definitely is boring. Any suggestions?
Great expectations.
Hmm.
I think there is a tool, for that. See.
You are very good with names.
Sorry.
Are good with
This is
names.
a reference. If you don't know, oh, there is a tool, man. No, no, no. Yeah. Great expectations. Yeah. Great expectations. Okay. I think there is a tool called Great Expectations. Yes. This is a data testing library in Python. Okay. So yeah, the idea here is that it's a reference to um, Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse movie. So yeah, I'm a geek like that. Yeah, yeah. Just put.
So that's about it. We are not choosing anything, not even git ignore, not readme
Yeah,
empty, it's a blank repo.
yeah. Yep, 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 yep.
And that,
So for anyone who doesn't is not familiar with GitHub, GitHub is a platform that provides Git services along with CI/CD tools called GitHub Actions. We have a model to help you write code called Git Copilot. It is available in VS Code directly. You can open your code repository for editing in directly in the browser with VS Code interface on the browser on the go directly from GitHub. And there are lots of insights. You can host static websites. That means just a single a page with just a displayable information, nothing on the back end. So all of these are provided for free up to a certain limit. So we are trying to use that for ourselves.
okay. Now let's start with the terminal. So I'm really
Hmm.
hard to showcase this particular terminal. I'm
Hmm.
really like this one. So if I
Terminal is not showing up. I think you have shared only this window.
True, true.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay. Take your time. Take your time.
How about now? This this terminal name is um,
Sorry, I didn't. I was not paying attention. Yeah.
right. So this is warp.
Oh, वार्प टर्मिनल, हाँ। पता है भाई, ये मैक में है। विंडोज
Right.
के लिए नहीं नहीं दिए ये लोग।
Not for Windows, but for Windows, I
Hmm.
suggest something different then.
I'll
Um,
just use Windows terminal. It is good for my stuff. But yeah, yeah, you're right. Oh,
Hyper.
they have it for Windows, man. They released it. Awesome.
Really? Because I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
checked
yeah.
2 days ago. It wasn't.
No, 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 no. Warp terminal है. They were about to release, but they
They
didn't
were
for some
about to
reason.
release, but they did
Hmm.
release. Amazing.
Hmm. So I am installing.
They released it for Windows. Nice.
Yeah. Right, right, right. I am installing Warp terminal from Windows terminal. So yeah,
Okay.
you can do winget install warp. Oh
Yep.
God. Okay.
This will just work. This is WinGet
Hmm.
is Microsoft Windows standard tool for installing
Yep.
libraries. So
Yep.
it will,
Yep. 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 Winget is basically Windows packet manager. Package
yes.
manager, not packet manager. Sorry. Yep.
And
So that's what it is. And if you want to update all your applications, that's like how we do on your phones using Play Store. So winget, is just one single command like winget update or upgrade hyphen hyphen all. That will upgrade all the apps, all the apps that Winget can see on your computer, and it will update it. So it's a good one. It's a solid one, basically. I use it all the time.
Brew is really convenient. Just click
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brew if you have not installed it and just run the command. That's it.
Yep.
That's how simple it is.
Brew is really good. Brew is awesome.
So WAP is basically having
Hmm.
free version and a pro version. So in free version, you can see that every month you get 100 AI requests. I
Hmm.
haven't took any AI request, but I might explore it.
Hmm.
And these it will recommend you. So every time you accept its recommendation, it's gonna count. So
Oh my
maybe
God.
just read
Hmm.
the just read it and type it yourself.
Okay. Yeah. This is why, selling anything to developers is a really, really freaking hard job because, yeah, we will find a way. I'm not recommending it, but yeah, this is how it is. Like developers are very hard sell in any matter.
Yes. So I would say it simply.
Yeah.
They only buy it when they feel it will really gonna save them a lot of money, time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
they are
Hmm.
not they are not like iPhone users. I only need photos and that's why I'm gonna buy. Just
Okay.
because
Yeah.
of
So now that we have our repository, right? Uh, I am invited on that repo, right?
yes, you are. I will
Okay.
start with the cloning. Okay,
Hmm.
so my personal experience is always clone on the desktop. I know,
Okay.
very bad practice, but this is what I
Yeah.
recommend. It's really easy to see. It's really
Hmm.
easy to access. It's really easy to
And yeah,
start on it
because
anytime.
because right. See, you're on Mac, you'll never see your desktop. We are on Windows, we'll always see desktops. So it would be messy. For Windows people, don't do it. Fun fact, I work on a Mac for my office work. So I know, like, I never see the desktop or wallpaper of my Mac app unless my kid comes and, she wants to see, the wallpaper, which she really likes. If not for that, I'm never seeing the wallpaper on the Mac. It's always some window. Mac is really dumb, and it's good to like start your work. Can you pass me that URL? I'll also just install it.
Let me put it in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Kashish, you are like developing all the things on a Mac, right?
Correct.
I am developing on what is called as क्या बोलते हैं भाई इसको WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. It's a Linux system that is embedded into Windows, and we are using that particular container of sorts, or that particular system of sorts for Windows, within Windows, right? So which is a solid one. I generally like use it for all sorts of stuff. My Python installation is over there. If I have to do anything, I'll just go there and do it. So it's a wonderful system. So yeah.
Hmm. Yes, I have in my office, I have Windows
Hmm.
laptop and I use
Hmm.
WSL.
Hmm.
So
We are opposite, man, basically.
yeah.
You use Windows on your office. I use Windows on my uh personal laptop. So yeah, that's how it is.
So I'm doing something
Hmm.
different. So first commit, because
Hmm.
see, you will not see anything until we have commit. So
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna commit an empty
Hmm.
commit.
Okay. So what do you mean by empty commit?
So Git now allows us to
Hmm.
commit without with just the message, without
Hmm.
actually committing any files, without actually committing any changes.
Hmm.
It's good.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if I do git log now, I will
Hmm.
see there is a commit. Of
Hmm.
course, it has no changes, but there is still a commit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And that's it. We should have a main branch. It is initialized. So
Hmm.
basically, now Git doesn't forces us to, write something to see the repository
Right. 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 Right.
like this. So this is I started with empty commit. So I make this as root. It
Hmm.
gives me more flexibility when branching and other things. That's it. Nothing special. You can always create an orphan branch, and then from that you can create a branch. You will get the same result. You don't have to create
Hmm.
an empty commit, because you must have heard you can revert all the commits but the root commit.
Yep.
But there are ways around it. You can create an orphan branch, and then from that branch you can create a new branch, make the commits from the basic start.
Okay.
This also has one benefit, that you will get a common ancestor. Even if you
Hmm.
make different branches out of it, you still have a common ancestor, right?
Right.
So if in future you want to merge it, assume that
Hmm.
you are working in folder A in one of the branch and folder B in the other branch,
Hmm.
then you can
Hmm.
just merge it and
Okay. Okay.
you'll have
Got
all
it.
the folders. So it has some benefits. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
with commit, and then
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
have. So the repo is created. We have cloned it.
Yeah. Can
You
you
can
pass me the URL? I don't have it, and I'm
uh,
not able to find it.
can you try the chat? I send it in chat.
No, that's not working, man. I need this URL, that
Ah,
github.com wala URL.
I'm using SSH. Oh, okay.
No, but I have to create something, no?
Mm-hmm. Let
I
me
have to
share
create a
it.
path, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Send.
I don't think I'm in this repo, man. Can you add me?
If you are in the Aren't you a member of the organization?
Oh, you created org, is it? Okay.
Hmm.
No, no. Org और ये दोनों अलग ही बनता है.
Oh, you are not in it. Let me
I
add
told
the.
you, right? Org और ये दोनों अलग बनता है. Yeah. Don't leak my email.
I, don't got your email link. Yeah, definitely. That's why. But it's gonna be leaked anyways. But
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I know, I know. I'm like, yeah.
But we will try to keep most of the things secure.
Mm.
But must
Mm.
reveal a lot of information, our personal
Mm.
details.
Right, 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 right.
You should have admin access to this organization now. Can you see? Can you try?
Right. I'm trying. Git clone. Yep.
And now we have to decide on the mono report tool. Now we have a lot of problems that we have to solve.
No, no, no. Wait, 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 wait. Let's figure out on the way, along the way. I'm
Mhm.
not trying that we will not, use monorepo things, but let's put in this way. Just put a folder called UI, okay, and create a folder called UI, and within that, create another project. Sorry, another folder called whatever the project that we are going to do. We discussed about creating some Linktree type, website, right? If you remember.
Yes. VS Code online GitHub. Actually, I don't need it. I have it cloned.
Just hit dot. Just hit dot on your keyboard.
Just dot.
Yeah, dot.
Okay. Uh, What happens when I do dot?
No, it should actually open this one. I mean, at least in Windows, it does, I believe.
You have to
Yeah.
write code.
No, no. Click on that web page. Just click somewhere and hit dot now. अरे
Just
डॉट मारो ना. मेरे तो आ गया.
error.
ये देख, ये देख,
मे-
ये देख.
मेरा भी
हम्म.
आ गया error.
Okay. So here I am, right?
Or
And
dot where? Dot
huh?
where? Dot
डॉट
where?
रे फुल स्टॉप. फुल स्टॉप. फुल
But
स्टॉप की. एम के पास में होता है ना.
on the GitHub. Oh, okay.
हाँ.
Let me try. Let me try.
Hmm. This is how easy it is. Basically. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh man, I didn't
पता
knew.
नहीं था क्या ये चीज.
No, nope, nope, nope. This is great.
Yeah, that's why Microsoft is like way, way, way ahead of what they do. ये तो कुछ और ही हो गया. But this uses a lot of your credits or free tier up very easily. So we
This
have to
one,
be
this
like,
is not dev. This should be free. This is not Copilot. This is sorry, not
no, no, no,
code
it's not.
tool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I'm trying to say is that if you tie yourself this and GitHub Actions, I believe, the amount of free tier that it uses will be higher, in my opinion, or in as per my knowledge service at this point.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay.
Also add a git ignore file.
We won't be able to commit the folders unless we have a file inside.
Huh,
Just
yeah, yeah, just put a readme in there.
yes.
Just put a readme MD file. हाँ वही तो. Okay, dot md. हाँ. Just put a text saying that. we are create. No, no, bahar ka, not there. Just add it outside, no? Yep. Git ignore is for all repos. Yeah.
From what I remember, we can add Git or Git ignore for separate folders as well.
We can do it, but it will take a lot of time for Git to merge all of them.
So right now UI and backend.
बस वही काफी है. ठीक है. हम्म. Okay. So now, so this is where we are at, right? Now, what you are going to do is that you'll just add, no, no, just add some, just the README MD files, just add couple of things there, saying that, okay, this is UI README MD, this is backend README MD, something like that. We'll update it later on.
Yep.
Yeah. अरे वो बैकएंड वाला था. हम्म.
No worries, no worries. I
Okay.
noticed.
Hmm. Right, right, right. So for folks who don't know, editing code on screen while somebody is looking, right? It's a nightmare. It's a very stressful situation. So that's why we want AI to do this stuff. Hmm. Yeah.
We will go with this. I staged all the changes. Now I'm gonna commit and push.
Yep.
And we have a basic repo setup.
Right. So this is how the idea of monorepo starts. We don't know how it evolves later on, but yeah, this is how it is.
Yes. For now, we are manually managing both of the services, but there are tools available in the market now since
Hmm.
it has already become a popular idea, the
Yeah.
monorepo. So there are
Yep.
lots of tools available. So the benefit of these tools are they can, you know, manage all your components together, just like how Docker Compose do.
Hmm. In terms of code, not in terms of running services.
I'm sure it can run services as well. You can write a basic command and it will start all the services together and stop all the services together with a single command.
That is infra management, man. Don't I'm saying only about code as a entity, not
Yes,
like merging both of them.
correct.
Code as an entity is separate. Like PRs, everything, is bothered about code. What happens after that is all about services. Is all
Mm,
about ops.
right. Okay.
Okay, let's call
Great.
it a day for now. I don't want to burden too much ourselves for today. I think this is a solid session, man. I really enjoyed it today. I hope you did too.
I did too. I did too.
Let's market ourselves. Okay. Let some VC find us. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this. I really enjoyed this. Let's do this again next week. We'll be, good. We will start, working on some UI apps, start building couple of things, maybe really badly to start with, and then we will improve upon it, as we have this one. The next session, we will talk about, we are going to build a link tree. If you don't know about link tree, Kashish, can you show link tree? Or
Definitely.
I can link dot tree. Um, okay, link tree. Yeah. Linktree slash. Are you showing anything on your screen? Sorry, I'm not paying attention.
Trying to log in.
Okay. Yeah. I have put it on chat.
Okay.
Yeah, this is mine. A shameless plug, by the way.
I will show yours.
Yeah, this is a shameless plug, by the way. I mean, yeah, you can visit. You can like go through all of this. Right. This is all we are going to build as a first thing. So all of this functionality should be there when we start it. And yeah, so let's see how this goes without link trace specific thing. But yeah, we are trying to build the upper part where we can link a lot of things on our personal stuff like our social media, any websites, anything that we are working on, all of this stuff. So this is a solid one,
Yes.
right? अरे वो डोमेन एक्सपायर हो गया है, रिन्यू नहीं किया, 3,000 मांग रहा है, तो या बाद में करेंगे.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, fun fact that data engineering guide, na, I started it. I didn't feel like it. I stopped it, but it is currently hosted on GitHub Pages.
Oh,
It's a static website. It's a Ruby based website. It's a content management system that I found online and hacked it and modified it, my way. But yeah, this is what it is. And you definitely should create one something like this, maybe from our project. Okay, we will build that project. We will, use it for, both of our this one.
and our audience would love to know how we are gonna build this. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the most important thing for us. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think we will call it a day. It's been a really good stream. I really enjoyed it, and I hope somebody finds this one and feel the same way. Okay. Um, have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.
I
Thanks,
have
man. Thanks for doing it. Bye.